we still need some lap scorers at the start line. This field is going to be very, very close together. The lap scoring for this race will be very, very simple. Jim Russell will call out the time. You just need to write it down. We have 2 at the moment. We need 4 more to get this race underway. The men are ready over there. Brady's promised us 69-second laps. The wind might have died down a little bit here. We are well and truly under lights. The moon is high in the sky. We got the lights. Lights are on under the marquee. So I'll just fill you in. The guys get out on their line. So we have 2 paces in this race set for 14.25. Now, for those people who aren't real sure, 14.25 is the national qualifier. So for these athletes to run at nationals, open nationals, they need to run 14.25 or under. So that's why the paces are set for that. I'm here. Now, our track record is set by number 2 in this, or number 3 in the field, Andy Buchanan. He ran that last year in 14.21. But Andy just coming off an injury. So we'll see whether he's in that sort of shape at the moment. But he'll certainly have a few people that won't let him have it his own way. He ran 2K pretty conservatively last year and then absolutely blew the field away with a 3K blitz of about 8 minutes 6. So it wouldn't be a 5K frenzy race without a false start, but they are away. And we'll look for Trelfall and Buckle, our 2 pacers, to get to the lead early and maybe settle down this field. It's a massive, massive field. We're very, very lucky to have so many athletes so keen to run at our race. These things don't happen by themselves. We've had some very busy people ringing around their friends, telling them to get up. So they are at the front in the bats tops. So maybe a little bit hot there for the first 200, but they will settle down. So I'll go through the field. In 1, we have Ben Kelly, who finished 3rd in this race last year. In 2, Ben Baisha. 3, our previous champion, Andy Buchanan from Bendigo University. Toby Mende comes to us from Ballarat Harriers. Jamie Cook, also repping the Bendigo Bats top in lane 5. Seth O'Donnell from Mentone in 6. Matthew Buckle. There's 2 Buckles out there. Matt is doing the pacing. He's in the cap as they go through the first lap in 66. So Brady better pull on the handbrake a little bit there. He'll blow a few up. Where was I up to? Matt Buckle pacing in the hat in 7. Nathan Stote has the hip number 8. Archie Reid in 9. Callum Drake in 10. I'll come back to Callum Drake because there is a story there. Will Collins from Knox in 11. From St Stephen's Harriers, Harry Smithers. Very, very high credentialed athlete, Harry Smithers. And then we have a few South Australian boys. So Cale Mulholland, Harrison Bagley and Matthew Gleas, all over from South Australia. Lockie Hurd from Casey Cardinia. Brady Trelfall, of course, as the pacer. And Ned Buckle is in hip number 18. So they head down the back straight. And Brady's pulled over, let Matt have a go. Field strung out, that's Buchanan in 3rd. I'll get the hip numbers, the other 2. I just can't tell from this far away. I can see Reed, I can see Stoat, and they have gone through. So about an 800 in 2:16, I think it was. I can see Mark Purden there just nodding his head slowly, going, that's about my PB for 800, 2:16. Wonder what these boys have got left. So here we go, through the marquee. They are all together. Let's see this cheer. Let's hear this cheer. Through the marquees, under the lights. Flashes. So number 6 is Seth O'Donnell from Mentone. And he's hit the front here. He's worried about the paces. He's gone to the front. Maybe he's taking up the pacing duties himself. Buchanan going with him. So Buchanan going around Trelfall. He's not going to let O'Donnell get away. So back to Callum Drake. So Callum Drake only made the field 2 days ago, which is, he's at the back of the field there in the Western Athletics top. There was a gentleman, Nathan Pearce, his teammate from Western Aths, who unfortunately got a stressy in the steeple at Countries. So they worked out with our 2 officials, Peter Barrett and Bill True, that Callum, even though he was well past entry date, could take Nathan's spot in the field. So Callum was very, very pleased when I messaged him on Thursday. And hopefully the trip up from Western A's will be a good one for him. So Travel's in front again. Buckle hits the watch. Buchanan there. We got 13-4, 13 is Mulholland. So he's our boy from South Australia. And he has come here specifically to break the South Australian under-18 record. So keep an eye out. He's only 17. Keep an eye out for hip number 13, Cale Mulholland. I don't want to put the moz on him, but if he can stay in that pack, he'll do it easy. 14:30 is the time he's trying to break. And state records aren't easy, but getting pulled along in this race, I hope he can leave Bendigo with a PB, first and foremost, but a state record in his back pocket. Excuse me. So the field is still pretty close together. There's a little bit of a split, but to be honest, everyone's going pretty well here. Pace looking pretty comfortable at the front. Oh, Buchanan just a trip there with O'Donnell. Harry Smithers just at the back of that front pack. We got Lockie Hurd just off there with the Knox runner in Will Collins. And then Cal Drake's moved up. He's just sort of stuck. I'm pretty sure Cal will try and get across to those 2 boys. So down the back they go. Pace is still on. They're strung out. So I think that might be the 2K. I'm terrible at doing these things. No, maybe it's not. Maybe they got one more lap. So one of the paces is out. We'll have a look who that is. Looks like Trelfall. He's coming off the back of a marathon. And to be honest, at 34 years of old, his time it may be past him. I don't want to tell him that personally, but it might be past him. So O'Donnell, Buchanan, Buckle. In 4 is Menday. We haven't called his name, but he's right up there in the top 4. Mulholland is the tall boy in the all black. He's looking very, very comfortable. Callum Drake through the finish line. Here comes Cook. They've had some battles in the past. Matthew Glias, he's over from South Australia as well. So the Adelaide Harriers have sent a couple of boys over, and Mark Glias has won in the red and white, just behind Jamie Cook there, about to go behind the discus cage. Every athlete in this field has put down a seed time of under 15 minutes. Now, we're not sure whether any of them are telling porky pies, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Very hard in these conditions, so I'll give them a bit of a leave pass. But we are expecting big things, particularly from those 5 or 6 at the front. Remember, we are looking for a 14.25 national qualifier and a South Australian under 18 record of 14.30 or below. So Buckles dropped back. I don't know whether the pacing duties are doing too well. Mulholland is the tall boy just behind him. Archie Reid and Nathan Stote. They've done a massive amount of training together up around Shepparton and Echuca, coached by Brady Trelfall. I'm sure he's somewhere on the track. And he will be giving his chargers a bit of curry as they come around. He certainly wants his men to run up to their potential. So O'Donnell from Mentone, Buchanan. Maybe Menday in third. Buckle on his outside, Mulholland. Bit of a gap to Reid. Stote is next. Looks like another Bats top, I reckon. But we'll pick that up as we come around. Starting to get a few drop off the back here. There's about 150 between our main pack and just a few stragglers, but they are still running super quick. Thank you to Matt. His job is done. 8:45. Thank you very, very much for 3K. And he is done. So we'll see what happens from here. O'Donnell, who's been in the front for a fair bit, is chased by Buchanan. Menday is there from the Ballarat Harries. We've had a few good runs from the Ballarat boys. Stote has gone past Reid, and he's gone past him in a big way. Last year, Nathan Stote tried to go with Andy when he kicked. Oh no, that was Archie, sorry. Archie tried to go with Brady. It did not end well for Archie, but he still ended up breaking the Bendigo under 25k record. So hopefully in the last year, he's learned to pace himself a little bit. And he can run even faster. I don't know whether he's still under 20. Might be open now. How'd you go, mate? When you get your breath, come over and have a chat. You can tell me what's going on out there, what it feels like. So it's status quo at the front. O'Donnell, Buchanan happy to sit. Menday, Stote with a very, very bad look. Archie Reid looks as cool as a cucumber. Ben Kelly a little bit further back than last time. And Mulholland, who's after this state record, has dropped off. He needs to get a move on. All right. We've got our capped pacer, Matty.
Is that Carl in front of Ned, is it?
Pardon?
Is that Carl Mulholland just in front of Ned?
I'm not sure.
He's the big, tall kid in the black. So he's at the back. Nice battle there. Here's Matty Glyas. Now we'll talk to Matt Buckle here. How'd that go, mate?
Windy.
Yeah, look, not ideal. I have to get this weather right. Tell us a little bit about the boys at the start line. How are they feeling with that for a big race despite the conditions?
I think they're up for a big race, but definitely letting the wind take its toll on us right now.
And how does, I think you went through in about 8:45. How does it, that'd be close to almost your PB, wouldn't it?
PB's 8:28, but close
Oh,
to.
sorry, I've sold him a bit short there. So basically you could duck back onto the track and cut a few more laps, he's saying. Make it a big training session. How's Nettie looking?
Yeah, he's looking good. I just hope he can hold on for sub 15 and run a PB.
Very nice. What's it, about 15:05? Did you do that at Countries?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Behind Brady?
Sure did, yeah.
Was he happy to finish that close to Brady or a bit angry that he didn't catch him?
It was a big PB and they ran the last K real quick, so he was happy with that, yeah.
All right, very nice. Oh, we'll get back to the track. And I've missed a big move here. Thanks, Matt. And Andy Buchanan has passed Seth O'Donnell, so I'm not exactly sure when that happened. But just like last year, Andy's got a certain length in. He's probably left it a little bit later this time, but he's moved away. He's moved to the front of this this group, I should say. Can O'Donnell stay with him? He's put in a very brave performance. So Andy Buchanan, he's put 15 metres on. 2 laps to go. 12 minutes on the clock. Are you serious? Nathan Stote has gone past Mende. This guy knows how to dig deep. Archie Reid still looking so comfortable. Callie's still there. Benny Baisha just on him. I reckon he's going to move past. Cale Mulholland, 2 laps to go, son. Let's go. You haven't driven all this way to not go home with a PB. Come on, let's go. He starts to move around. Archie Reid down the back straight. Stote has moved away from Mende. And Buchanan has moved even further away from O'Donnell. So he's done the old sit and kick again, Andy. He might reel in Jamie Cook and Callum Drake. So 13 minutes. 14.21 is his track record. We weren't sure what sort of form he was going to be in. He's just come off a bit of an injury with his leg. He probably wasn't very happy with his Zatopek time, but to be honest, it was pretty humid down there. Conditions weren't great, but he's come out here tonight and once again shown everybody what the class runner he is. He's rolling down the back straight. He's got Drake and Cook in his sights. Archie Reid through the bell. Baisha through the bell. Callie through the bell. Here we go. The boys are picking it up now. What do you got left? Harry Smithers through. Andy, 150 to go. I'll tell you what, 14.21, we need to watch this clock because I think the Pacers have done their job and this is going to be very, very fast. 20 seconds. He's going to do this easy. He's absolutely going to do this easy. 15 seconds. Here he comes. Andy Buchanan. Bendigo, 5 kilometre record holder for the second year in a row. The 5K Frenzy win and the record. Seth O'Donnell in about a 14.16 as my voice is about shot. Nathan Stote. And I reckon that's a 6-second PB for Nathan Stote. Great work. Archie Reid has come home hard. There's Mende. Ben Kelly won't be on the podium this year. Benny Baisha. And I'll tell you what, 14.40 for Ned Buckle. His brother wanted him to run, sub 15, and he's absolutely obliterated that. Well done, Ned. There is going to be some serious PBs here. We tick over 15. We might have Drake and Cook still on the track. And if you take a look on the infield, there's a couple of guys there that have put everything into it. That's a great run. And here comes Cal. So as I said, a late entry. Didn't even know he was running until 48 hours ago. Jamie Cook finishing off with a 15.23. So a great run from those two gentlemen. Presentations will be on very, very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around for that. But if you are heading out the door, thank you again for supporting our 5K Frenzy.